Musashi grips his sword as he realizes the overwhelming presence before him. Charl, hovering with his golden wings, is visibly shocked, struggling to comprehend how things changed so quickly. Meanwhile, Lu Fang stands confidently, a smirk on his face. He reveals that in a short time, he has managed to seize control over all the 9 realms' demons. He asks his opponents who they think will win now, fully aware of the shift in power. Charl, still recovering from the revelation, refuses to back down. He summons his massive golden weapon, dismissing Lu Fang's army of corpse puppets, determined to fight despite the odds. Charl, radiating divine energy, declares that their enemies will never defeat them. He activates Divine Sanctuary, a powerful buff that enhances the abilities of all his allies within range. Musashi and Charl, fueled by their growing power, let out a battle cry, their determination surging. A devastating sequence of holy attacks is unleashed. Divine flame of retribution engulfs the battlefield in sacred fire, dealing massive damage and inflicting divine burns on Lu Fang's forces. Meanwhile, Phantom Reaper Slash sends deadly rotating wind blades slicing through the enemy ranks, causing further destruction. Charl, standing firm with Musashi beside him, mocks Lu Fang's tactics. He confidently declares that the demons he commands are nothing more than corrupted puppets and that their strength has evolved beyond what they once were. Having been baptized by the power of the Holy Mountain, they are no longer the same warriors Lu Fang faced before. Lu Fang remains unfazed by Charl's overwhelming buffs. Smirking, he reveals his trump card Emerald Dragon Roman II, Form Shift Eternal. His massive dragon companion emerges, its presence exuding immense power. He taunts Charl, dismissing his divine enhancements, claiming that they are nothing compared to the might of his dragon. As the battle intensifies, Xiao Fei joins in, activating Pulse of Life, amplifying the strength of all allied units within range. The battlefield erupts in emerald light, boosting their abilities further. The power surge doesn't stop. Their emerald blessing is unleashed, stacking 6 layers of dragon aura to enhance the next series of attacks. At the same time, emerald light activates, removing all debuffs and drastically increasing the attributes of Lu Fang's forces. With this, his army becomes nearly invincible, blocking multiple attacks while roaring in newfound power. Chaos unfolds as Lu Fang's empowered forces, now unstoppable beasts, begin their counterattack. The battlefield is filled with roaring and cracking sounds as his creatures overwhelm their opponents, shaking the very foundation of the war. Lu Fang's dragon, now fully empowered with Emerald Blessing, surges forward with an unstoppable force. Its attacks are enhanced further, and the battlefield trembles under its might. Roaring fiercely, the dragon launches a devastating jaw strike, charging at blinding speed before sinking its fangs into its target. The impact is brutal, leaving its opponent reeling and suffering from severe bleeding damage over time. As the battle rages, Charl watches in disbelief. His holy mountain projection, once thought invincible, has been completely overwhelmed. The realization shakes him. Despite his divine power, he has lost. As the battlefield trembles, a crimson eye surrounded by lightning emerges, exuding an ominous presence. Lu Fang smirks, exuding confidence as he declares that the real battle is only just beginning. He raises his hand and activates Dragon Domain, a powerful skill that blankets the battlefield in red lightning. Within the domain, all dragons and their bonded allies experience a massive power boost, while non-dragon entities suffer severe attribute reduction and are immobilized. Musashi and Charl react in shock. The sheer presence of a domain-level skill is unheard of at Lu Fang's supposed level. Charl, unable to comprehend it, exclaims that a mere level 30 class advancement should not be capable of using such overwhelming domain abilities. Charl refuses to accept defeat and, undeterred by the Dragon Domain, unleashes Divine Flame of Retribution, a devastating attack meant to burn through Lu Fang's overwhelming power. Determined, he declares that no domain will dictate the outcome of the battle. He rises above the flames, spreading his wings and challenging Charl directly, stating that he will now demonstrate the true gap between their strengths. A massive beast under Lu Fang's command roars and charges forward, tearing through the battlefield with unmatched ferocity. Charl, despite his divine enhancements, is unable to match the raw power of Lu Fang's forces. As the battle unfolds, Charl realizes something shocking. Despite his 500% damage boost, his attack has been effortlessly countered. His divine strength is weakening, and worse, his connection to his summoned beasts has been severed. Musashi, standing beside him, also notices the drastic shift in power. Charles finally realizes the true nature of Dragon Domain. It not only empowers Lu Fang's allies, but also severely weakens enemies. His divine strength continues to fade, and his attacks, which once shook the battlefield, are now ineffective. Musashi and the others struggle against the empowered beasts, desperately trying to survive. Lu Fang, watching from above, casually questions whether his opponents will even survive this battle. As the battlefield erupts into chaos, Lu Fang descends, his forces unleashing a final devastating attack. The once mighty warriors of the Holy Mountain are now barely holding on. Then, a golden feather appears in Charles' hand, an item symbolizing mercy. He reflects that he had once planned to spare Lu Fang, but now, faced with overwhelming defeat, he begins to realize that mercy might not be an option anymore. Charles, despite his disadvantage, remains resolute. He reveals that his original intent was to give Lu Fang the honor of serving the ancient god of the Holy Mountain, just like himself. However, Lu Fang's unpredictable nature makes him a threat. Deciding that Lu Fang's death will serve a greater purpose, Charles prepares to turn him into a Holy Mountain puppet, ensuring his power is controlled under divine will. A massive surge of holy energy erupts as Charles unleashes endless holy light, channeling the divine force of the ancient god. The ground shakes as golden radiance engulfs the battlefield, its overwhelming power distorting the very air. As the divine attack descends, Lu Fang remains undeterred. The ultimate clash between two overwhelming forces is about to begin. Observers watch in shock as Lu Fang withstands the overwhelming divine attack. Doubt and disbelief fill the air. Could he really survive such an assault? Charles, eyes wide with shock, stares at the impossible sight before him. His ultimate attack, infused with the ancient god's essence, was supposed to be absolute. Yet, Lu Fang remains standing. The truth becomes clear. Lu Fang's eternal guard has shielded him, absorbing the full force of the attack. Enhanced by the Emerald Dragon bloodline, his regeneration skyrockets, and he becomes immune to debuffs. His power continues to grow beyond Charles' comprehension. A smirk spreads across Lu Fang's face as he confidently steps forward. He casually acknowledges Charles' failed final strike before drawing his weapon. The tides have completely turned. Now, it's his turn. Lu Fang unleashes his Black Dragon's intimidation, an oppressive aura that sends waves of fear through his enemies, leaving them immobilized and disoriented. Struggling against the overwhelming pressure, they clutch their heads as the deafening sound becomes unbearable. Their bodies refuse to move, their minds drowning in fear. Desperation takes over as they realize their impending doom. In a final act of survival, Charles desperately reaches for Musashi, proposing a contract of the abyss, a forbidden pact that could grant them resurrection even in death. However, before they can act, a devastating final blow descends upon them, ensuring their complete defeat. Lu Fang's sword, glowing with immense energy, prepares to deliver the final blow. As his blade strikes, Musashi and Charles' fate is sealed. The forbidden contract of resurrection is cut short before completion, ensuring their permanent defeat. Elsewhere, an ally of Charles senses the loss. Panic overtakes them as they realize Musashi's presence has vanished completely. The impossible has happened. The once mighty warriors of the Holy Mountain have been erased.
This is the end of the video. If you guys want to see the next part, then don't forget to subscribe and like the video.